I think one very common question for light would be on shadows, right? Later on when we are attempting some of the questions, we'll go through the concepts again. Okay, I will not be teaching you from scratch, but maybe just to have a gauge, how many of you actually have not learned light before? It's a new topic. Everybody has learned light before? Yeah? Safia and Yankai, could you please turn on your video? Thank you. Everybody has learned light before. Okay, so it's not something new. So I assume you know most of the concepts. So we'll just take it as a revision, yeah? Catherine has learned light before, yeah? Okay. Right. Okay. We're going to go through the questions first. First question, okay? The diagram shows a cylinder filled with wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, can. Filled with 400 centimeters cube of clear water, the light sensor can measure the intensity of light as it passes through the water. 1 minute after the light is turned on, a mixture of 100 centimeters cube of garden soil and clay is poured into the cylinder. The mixture slowly sinks to the bottom of the cylinder. Which graph shows the change in the light intensity recorded throughout the experiment after the light is turned on? Anyone? Oh, Hao Xuan.
Is it D?
B, okay. Cylinder filled with clear water. So how will the light intensity change? So a minute after, okay, let me see. That's the highlight. Yeah. A minute after the light is turned on, a mixture of 100 centimeters cube of soil and clay, right? So yes, the answer is D, because slowly you realize that because garden soil and clay are considered, oh, someone is coming in, hold on. Let me just take the attendance first and then we can move on. I think that is Shabi, right? Oh, Shabi came back in again. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I was saying, yes, you're right, Hao Xuan. The amount of light will eventually be blocked by the garden soil that's sinking in, because garden soil and clay are considered opaque. So if you were to pour it into the water, you realize that the amount of light will start to decrease. Okay, so the answer is D. Oops, sorry, give me a moment. Okay, there you go. All right, now next one. Janet placed two identical metal cylinders in different positions in a dark room under the ceiling lights. Shadows were formed on screens X and Y. Which of the following shadows would she observe on screen X and Y? Grace raised up her hand, right? Grace?
B.
B for?
D.
Oh, D. Yes. Okay. Because how do you determine the shape of the shadow? You have to look out for the source of light. So the source of light is shining from the top. If it is shining from the top, it will actually take the shape of this. Okay, whichever part, okay, whichever part that the light is being blocked, whichever shape is blocking the light path, because light travels in a straight line. I think all of you know that, right? Light travels in a straight line. So because it travels in a straight line, it doesn't bend, it will just take the shape of this container. Okay, so same thing for screen Y. Okay, same thing for screen Y. If you notice, the light source is from the top, goes down the metal cylinder. So the shape will be a rectangle. Okay, so the answer is C for this. And okay, question 3 now. Anybody? Yes, Minhaj. Which block can be seen when you look through the hollow tube?
Is it C?
Okay, let's find out. Okay, now this thing is it's actually talking about the law of reflection. And one very important concept to know is that light travels in a straight line. Okay, the underlying concept is that light travels in a straight line. So since this is the light, okay, but at the same time, straight line meaning it because this lamp has like radius light in different position. So it's straight line, right? It can, as long as it's a straight line, basically. But at the same time, because this is a hollow tube, it means that we can only see, okay, through the hollow tube. So we are supposed to draw this line, which we actually call the normal. This is called the normal. And it must be the same angle. The angle of incidence, okay, which is this angle over here, must be the same as the angle of, the angle of reflection must be the same as angle of incidence. So this is considered the angle of reflection because it's reflected into this person's eyes. Okay, so then after that, we will also need to draw another line. So what I was trying to say is that, okay, wait, hold on. Okay, this is reflection, okay? So this is called angle of incidence. This is called angle of reflection. Okay, so angle of incidence, angle of reflection. So this one will be cast on the mirror. Okay, angle of incidence will be cast on the mirror. Angle of reflection will then be reflected into the eyes. Okay, so which object will the eye see? Actually, it's actually object D. It cannot reach object C because object C is a different angle if I were to draw it against the mirror. Okay, so only object D. Yeah, so always remember that the angle of reflection must be equal to the angle of incidence. The angle of incidence basically means where the light is being cast. Okay, angle of reflection and angle of incidence. Okay, so in this case, the block that can be seen through the hollow tube will be block B instead. Any questions with this? No questions? Okay, no questions. We're going to move on, okay? Anybody? I think someone's still writing. I'll give you a bit of time, 2 minutes. Someone is typing in the chat. Let me see. Okay, Sharvi is writing the answer for the next question, is it? Right, okay, let's move on. Wow, that's a long question. Dennis conducted an experiment to investigate the amount of light that could pass through three sheets, W, X, and Y, which were made of different materials. The three different sheets were positioned in two setups, P and Q, as shown in the diagrams below. The distance traveled by the light for each setup was measured, and the results are shown in the graph. Okay, so which of the following correctly describes sheets W, X, and Y? Someone would like to answer? Anybody? Let me see. Oh, Gerald is here. Well, that's quite late, but as long as he's here. Okay, let me just take attendance for Gerald first. Great, everyone is here. Okay. Yeah, so what was I? Question, someone said, I think Chavi said D is the answer. Let's check, okay, whether D is the answer. So if you notice that at P, at setup P, it only traveled till 10, roughly about 10 cm, right around there. Okay, so that means the light only traveled until W. Okay, okay, never mind. Okay, so it only traveled under W, which tells us that actually W does not allow light to pass through, because the light was only be able to reach only able to travel under 10 centimeters. Now if you look at 15 cm of at Q, same thing. See, it's actually placed at W. Okay, so W is for sure does not allow light. So the rest, I mean, that's the only option, right? Because the rest are yes. So the answer is D. D, because W does not allow light to pass through, and X and Y allows light to pass through. Okay? Okay, next one. Anyone? Catherine?
A.
A. Damien placed a metal container between torch and screen. There was a heart painted. Okay. Now, you do need to know that because the heart is painted, okay, it's not a hole. If it's a hole, then it will form the shape of A. Okay? But because it's not a hole, it's just a painting on top. So basically the container is still opaque. Okay, it's still opaque. Opaque means it does not allow light to pass through. Okay, how should you want to try?
Is it C? A.
Yes, the answer is
A.
C. Someone say A just now. Who is it? It's C. Yes, Minhaj says C. Yeah, it shouldn't be A. Okay, the reason why, like I explained, it's only a painting. Okay, so for example, I show you my water bottle. Okay, I don't think you can. Wait, hold on. I don't think you can see. You can see? Wait. Let me remove my background first so you can see my water bottle. Okay, so as you can see, my water bottle, okay, there is a paint, not really paint, I think it's like a design on it, right? There's a painting or maybe something on it. So it's the same as the metal container, right? They just put a heart shape here. But my water bottle on its own is still opaque. Light still cannot pass through it. Okay, so since light cannot pass through it, it means that it's able to block light, and when light is blocked by an opaque object, it will cast a shadow. Okay, so the shadow that will be cast, actually, if you look, like I said, if you look from this angle, okay, it is actually not round. So the shadow cast will look something like that, because you have to look at the Okay, you have to look at this part here. Okay, so